Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lauren, and I'm the Director of Healthcare for doForms. Thank you so much for joining us on our third session in our healthcare track today, which is going to be a spotlight on our solution for hospice providers, specifically the hospice admission process. So for those of you who are just joining us, welcome. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to learn a bit more about doForms and how we can help you in your hospice operations. If you're just joining us, our previous sessions highlighted our advanced security features, our HIPAA compliant tools for digital form capture in the healthcare sector, as well as a solution that we offer for for caregiver scheduling. So if you're interested in receiving recordings of those, please shoot us an email. There is a Q&A option in your Zoom meeting. So if you have any questions as we go throughout this presentation, please just let me know. I'm happy to address these questions at the end of the presentation, or if you want to send me an email directly, we'd be happy to talk one-on-one. So let's talk a little bit just to set the stage if you're getting familiar with the doForms product. A quick overview as to what doForms is. doForms is a tool that allows you to convert from the use of paper-based forms to forms that can be completed on any mobile device or tablet or even a laptop. We have a form builder tool that allows you to quickly create a digital form version that renders beautifully on any type of device you might be wanting to use it on. And from there, you kind of have a custom mobile form app for your business. These tablets can then be deployed out amongst your caregivers as they go and do their visits. And forms can be immediately transmitted back to the office where you receive them as a digital PDF, which is stored securely in our online portal, accessible anytime, anywhere, and can be downloaded as needed. We also do have some tools for secure workflow, including the ability to email forms, send forms for signature, and I'll be talking about those workflow tools with this specific solution today as well. So if you are looking to kind of get rid of all the paper storm in your business, look for a solution that's affordable, easy to use, and ideal for the healthcare sector, I highly encourage you to, pick up the phone, call me, shoot me an email. I'm happy to get on the phone with you and give you a demonstration of our product and really talk about how we can tailor it to meet your unique requirements. At the outset, I've made this point in some of our other presentations, but I just want to say, doForms is not your typical EHR. We are not designed to only function in the realm of providing, claim reimbursements to Medicare, Medicaid, follow these strict processes. We are a tool that really helps meet certain operational and clinical workflow needs that your business might have that are still paper-based. We help fill the gaps where EHRs or other systems haven't been able to do that because there's so much adaptability, so much customization, and so many unique requirements that may be required. That's where we really shine. We're really able to come in, give you a solution to meet those needs so you just reap the benefits of digital operations. So let's talk about our solution for hospice providers. Now, I want to say this is a really turnkey solution. We've deployed this for many, many customers all throughout the United States in many different jurisdictions. So it's really turnkey. If you are in hospice and are interested in, kind of getting started with this program, I know from experience that we can get you up and running in a matter of a couple of days. So this is nothing that takes a long time to get started with. It's very easy for your caregivers to learn how to use. So it's a really exciting product that we can really get going for you at any time. So let's talk about our digital hospice admission solution. So if you are in the hospice business, you are dealing with the need to admit and do intake for new hospice patients. This paperwork is incredibly form intensive. It does vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. Different states, different cities have different requirements about different forms that need to be filled out. But typically, you go in to admit a patient for hospice care. You'll go in there with a folder, if it's a nice folder, it's a nice set of forms, of consent forms, authorizations, acknowledgements, and legal documents, things like proxy directives, advance directives, your living will, all sorts of documentation that needs to be completed upon the admission. There are varying requirements, not only state to state, but different organizations have different requirements. And I say that to say it's hard to have a one-size-fits-all solution for hospice admissions. And this is where doForms really shines. We're able to deploy for you a custom-built, purpose-built admission solution that mirrors your exact workflow, your existing processes. We can digitize that for you in a custom branded app that, again, is very easy for your caregivers to learn to use. We also help you deal with evolving regulatory requirements that may require frequent updates to your forms. The legal language that needs to be included in consents can change from year to year. With our form builder tool, you're able to quickly edit, make these changes, and deploy out new versions into the field instantaneously. So again, unlike the traditional EHRs where you're very stuck in stone, with what exactly needs to be done, or if you want any customization at all, it's thousands and thousands of dollars or months and months of development. With doForms, our hospice admission package, all of these changes can be made rapidly. You can meet these ever-changing regulatory requirements. So the key benefits of going digital, of course, I just want to highlight this. I'm sure you're already thinking this if you're attending this session today. But of course, you're going to see significant OpEx reduction. Your operational expenses are going to go down. You're not going to have to pay for these expensive paper form packets. You're not going to pay for printing, faxing, storage, copying, all the associated paper costs. You're not going to have to pay for the time it takes for people to, move this paper back and forth, mailing, postage, all of that. That's immediately eliminated. Most of our customers see a tremendous ROI in like day 2 of using our product. Our hospice admission solution is just one of those quick, easy to get out there, big wins for your agency that I highly encourage you to take a hard look at. Now, not only do we help you reduce expense, which is key, there's not a lot of money going around in this space, so anything we can do to help improve your bottom line is great for everyone. But from a accuracy and compliance perspective, using doForms also helps you improve the compliance and accuracy of your documentation. So when we design your hospice admission packet, we are going to have form field requirements, which means that certain fields have to be filled in before they can be submitted. These include fields like signatures, maybe checkboxes, deciding whether or not you want certain wishes to be kept or not. All of these can be made required. So I get calls all of the time from compliance directors from our customers saying, Lauren, this is great. I used to have to send this paperwork back because it wasn't filled out accurately. We were missing signatures. It wasn't compliant. Now with the solution, all of that watchdog, all of that policing is automatically done in the form itself. So we can be sure that you're getting accurate admission paperwork right back to you immediately. Then of course you have enhanced security. I did a whole session this morning on our HIPAA compliant security features. Everything from form field encryption of personal health information, encryption in the portal, how we store your information securely, multi-factor authentication to access the device, to access the portal, PIN-based login on the device. We have all of these security controls that are meant to protect this patient's information. This is private information. This has to do with their personal details, their illness, their medications they're taking, and all of that needs to be protected, not only for the patient, but also for their family, and also to help expose, to limit your exposure to any sort of violation or fine in regards to violating HIPAA requirements. The hospice admission package we offer, I've also heard that it reduces the complexity of filling out this paper for family members, which when you are offering a service, you are providing hospice care, anything you can do to improve this time is definitely a key benefit. So again, instead of going through stacks and stacks of paper documents, filling out redundant information again and again and again, our digital hospice admission solution just seamlessly walks you through each of the required form fields. And improved efficiency. And this again goes for your caregivers, those out, doing the intake, doing the admit. We can reduce the time it takes to complete these forms by 50%. So boom, the paperwork's done much faster. They're able to get in, get out, and do their job without letting this paperwork burden, which really has just exploded in terms of the amount that has to be done. We just really help reduce that complexity for your caregivers, which also reflects well for the family members involved as well. So let's talk a little bit about the status quo Typically you're going to be looking at 20 to 30 pages of forms that need to be filled out for a hospice admission. These include things like your release of medical records, your privacy practices notice, your informed consent, your election of benefits, your patient bill of rights, your organizational handbook and policies, which has to be acknowledged. And again, this is typically very unique to a single hospice agency. So what we do is we replicate it. We take your handbook, we take your policies, we digitize exactly the language you want, and the patient or representative has to acknowledge that. So again, that's where our custom form build aspect really helps with this solution. You have authorization for payments, you have patient service agreements, you have all sorts of different consents that have to be signed in order to be admitted to hospice care, including your plan of care, including what medications you're on, all of this paperwork, which adds up. And instead, we digitize it, so it's just one simple digital form that can be filled out quickly and efficiently by the caregiver and the family. So again, 20 to 30 pages of forms that have to be filled out. And this is what's killer. It's redundant information. You're having to enter in the name, the date of birth, the social security number, the gender, their ID, their Medicaid ID, their insurance number, again and again and again and again on each page. And it's just, it's arduous, it's time consuming. So what we're able to do is expedite that, where you only have to enter in that key information once and we carry it throughout the forms. So again, it just becomes a much more efficient process. So the time consuming and inefficient admission process, that's the status quo. It's just time consuming. And it's also costly to produce and share these paper-based forms. I mean, these folders that we've helped customers digitize, they are about $30 each. That's, it adds up per every visit. And in addition, things get lost in the paper shuffle. And we'll talk a little bit about how we handle advanced directives and do not resuscitate forms. And these are very critical forms that cannot get lost. You really need them to understand what needs to be done for a patient. So we also help eliminate that paper shuffle and minimize risk. Just making sure that everything's digitized and securely stored, accessible anytime, anywhere. So the status quo, I have a 30-page admission paper-based package that I have to get filled out on every visit. How do I get started? I'm sick of this paper. We make it very easy for you. We provide for you a form building tool. You log in, and after a training session with us, you can actually start building out your admission packet using the doForms form builder. A one-page form can typically be built in about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how fast you are at it. Nothing too long, it doesn't take a long time. Or you're able to also send forms over to us at doForms, and we will build them for you. We review your packet, we provide you a quote and let you know what those professional services would be. Again, very minimal professional services up front. It is custom based on your admission packet. We have some hospice agencies where their organizational handbook is 50 pages. That's very different than if you have a one-page policy document. So we do provide you with a custom quote for us to build it for you. And once that's done, you're really off to the races to try out your admission process. But our form builder tool also gives you the ability, I talked about security. So we are encrypting all the fields that contain PHI. And we also can embed within your form secure workflows. So what is Secure Forward? Secure Forward means the ability to take an admission packet and send it to someone for signature electronically. So if I'm admitting a patient for hospice care, I can enter in that patient or their caregiver's email address, their family member, whoever is responsible for their care, and they will receive a digital copy of the admission packet. They then can electronically sign the packet, and we receive it back as a completed, executed document. So Secure Forward allows you to forward forms to other people. Secure Email also allows you to email a completed PDF, so they have their copy for their records. All of this is using our secure HIPAA compliant platform. You may know, whether or not email itself out of the box is HIPAA compliant. We provide a secure email infrastructure that requires multi-factor authentication to log in and view documents to really help make sure that the information is protected and only authorized by those individuals who are supposed to authorize it. So getting started is simple. You can attend a 1-hour form building training with us or one of our expert mobile solution consultants to show you how to build a form, or we can build a packet for you for a small professional services fee. And then what will happen is we will tell you, here you go, you can download your app. Your app is going to have your company logo on it, and you're going to have an icon on the app when you open it for your admission packet. You'll open up the form and boom, you have a completely digitized admission packet for you. As soon as it's filled out and submitted back to the office, it's stored for you forever as a digital PDF. And in addition, as we build your form, we put efficiency embedded into your form. So I talked earlier about how filling out this paperwork is redundant. You're asking the same questions again and again and again. So what we'll do on the first page of your form is we'll have an entry for your name, your date of birth, social security number, medications, etc., things that might be asked later on in other various forms as a part of the package. And then we'll use our calculation fields to pull that information throughout the form. So you only have to enter in this information one time. Huge time saver for everyone out there filling out these admission packets. We also have required fields. So again, ensuring compliance, making sure that questions are answered, signatures are obtained before you're able to submit admission packets back into the central office. This is critical. Also helps dramatically improve your form compliance. Auto stamping, this is great. This allows you to just automatically capture the date, the time, maybe even the location of where the admission packet is being filled out. So again, just minimizing the amount of actual data input that has to be done by the hospice intake nurse doing the intake. And of course, I talked about rapid modifications, the ability to, if a new law comes out, if you need to add maybe a clause to your organizational policies, you're able to just quickly drag and drop that into your existing form package, publish it out to all your devices, and boom, all of those updates have been made. No additional charges. It's just very seamless, very effective way to keep documentation up to date. So our digital consents, we'll have multi-page packets. These are going to be a single form that consists of about 40 pages. You'll go through the whole process. You'll enter in key information once. You'll obtain the signatures, and it'll be sent back to you as a fully stored PDF. Very beautiful, very elegant, very simple way to do your hospice admission process. We also, within the hospice package, we can embed medication management. So if you have the need to document what medications the patient is currently on, we can pre-fill forms with the list of commonly prescribed medications. So they become just simple drop downs. The hospice nurse just selects what medication, the dose, the route, the frequency. It's all a drop down. We're not having to write down complicated names. It's just very quick and efficient to document what medications the patient is on. This also, of course, improves accuracy. You're able to really see exactly what the dosage should be. When you're handwriting this type of information, it's possible for things to be misread. When it's typed in digitally and auditable, you're able to make sure exactly what that dosage should be. So our admission packet also has a nice little feature for medication management as well. So I'm just going to fix this. Perfect. And then this question comes up a lot, and it's a really great, simple yes in terms of integration, integrating with your other systems that you might have in place. So most commonly we'll be asked, well, can I get a drop-down menu of my patients to appear in the form? So the answer is yes, and we can embed all sorts of sort of access controls and permissions for who can view what information. But yes, we can integrate with backend systems. So for example, if you want to have a drop down of patient names, we can pull that information from your existing system. We also can integrate back. So if you wanted to maybe store a PDF in a patient chart, we could develop that integration as well. So, again, to streamline completion of the paperwork, we're able to do integration. I did mention we also offer an HL7 interface. So again, this is very secure integration that we have available. If you are interested in integration, that's definitely a conversation we can set up. We'll just understand your specific requirements and we'll let you know what that will entail. While we do have some out-of-the-box integrations with some healthcare EHRs, we just want to tackle that on a case-by-case basis with you. So let's talk a little bit now about some of the workflows that can be embedded in the admission packet process. Okay, so a very common form that needs to be filled out is a do not resuscitate form. In fact, in many states, it's required to either have one or document that you do not have one in place. And an advanced directive, very similar, kind of process. Now, do not resuscitate forms specifically, they need to be filled out by their patient or representative. So a signature has to be obtained. The hospice provider also has to sign it. And then the attending physician has to sign the do not resuscitate form. So there's multiple parties that have to sign off on a single form. So using our secure workflow tool, you're able to fill out with the patient, get their signature or their guardian signature, obtain that signature, sign off yourself as the hospice provider, and then securely forward it to the attending physician that's on call or is set up for your organization. So we work with you to embed these workflows. As soon as the physician has signed, it comes back and it's a fully executed DNR. And at this point, it's stored in our portal where it's accessible anytime, anywhere. We even have one company who's set up sort of a 24/7 hotline where they can call to know if there's a DNR in place or not for that customer using our portal. And we also have the ability to integrate with full page mobile printing. So if you do want the ability to print off a copy, you're able to do that. So as soon as it's signed by the physician, it comes back to you. You can print off a full page version of the DNR and leave it at the patient's home by their bedside. You can post it there. So mobile printing is also a really great adjunct feature to our hospice solution set if you are interested in leaving behind paper copies versus emailing copies of these forms with their family or guardian. So again, all of these workflows, and again, the do not resuscitate form, that's a high stakes document. You do need to know what the patient's wishes are. And so being able to get that digitized, get it accurate, get it accessible anytime, anywhere, helps eliminate some risk on the hospice provider's end, and also just ensures peace of mind, exactly where that document is. So I've talked about the mobile capture side of things, how you're able to do your admission packet on the mobile device, quickly and efficiently fill it out and submit it back to the main portal. So our access portal kind of acts as a digital filing cabinet. Whoever you want at your organization, you give them the rights and permissions to access these documents. They're able to log in to the portal and view completed admission packets. We make it quick and easy to search. So if you had hundreds of packets, you could just search for a specific name. It would come right up for you. And you could export that as PDF. You can also securely email and forward these documents and do what you need to do. We also have the ability, if you're a large entity, to of course do regional or office groupings. So you can make sure that certain individuals only have access to view maybe a specific region, the Southwest, whereas corporate would have the ability to view at a national level. So all of those user access controls, they're very easy to set up in our portal, and we make sure that only those you want to see, documents that contain PHI can see them. So I'll tell a little story now about an actual use case of this solution. We were able to work with the Visiting Nurse Association in New Jersey to build for them a full ecology, which basically for their hospice providers required digitizing their existing admission forms, creating a customized mobile app that was deployed out to all of their hospice intake team, and then also distributed with them mobile full page printers, which allowed them to print utilizing print on demand. So we really gave them a full ecology. Not only could they do their hospice admission packet in a digital format, but also print and leave copies behind with the patient if they did not have the ability to access email copies of the digital forms. This company also utilized our do not resuscitate workflow that I mentioned earlier, being able to fill out DNR forms, get physicians to sign off on them, and store those executed DNRs in a digital repository. And you'll see here's a quote from the Vice President of Quality at VNAHG, basically stating, in hospice, when patients are admitted, some may be with us for only a short period of time. So every moment that's wasted is a challenge. It's simple enough for them to go through the whole process of using electronic forms and then for printing them. So again, with this use case, simplicity is key. Efficiency is key. And of course, affordability is key. This is a very affordable solution that really gets you an immediate ROI. And, you know, VNAHG is such a great customer and has been using us for, you know, hundreds and hundreds of intake packets on a monthly basis. So we're an industrial grade solution, we're proven. And again, this is turnkey. And while it's turnkey, you know, it's customizable to your organization's specific needs. We understand that every state might have a different form, but we're really able to automate and customize it exactly for your requirements. So this is, again, that quote. So when you're looking for a solution, there are things, of course, you want to consider. You want to consider the security of the solution. You want to make sure that this is a HIPAA compliant offering. But you also want to look at the ROI and the business sense for this. So look at your printing and mission packet costs, whether you're ordering carbon copy forms, whether you're actually producing, you know, nice marketing materials. We eliminate those out of the gate, boom. We also eliminate, you know, by 50% the time your caregiver is spending completing paperwork, which means they can do their job faster, which means they can do more, which is great for all involved. It also helps, and from a professional sense, you know, it reduces the complexity of the family's time spending completing this paperwork. You're in, you're out, and you know, other more important matters can be attended to in this case. We also offer, you know, the all-in-one remote signature feature, so you don't have to get a third-party, you know, solution to send forms for electronic signature. It's all embedded in our platform. It's all controlled. So, you know, if you need to get e-signatures from other parties involved in the admission packet process, we're able to do that, all embedded in a seamless workflow. And of course, we give you that access to your critical information. And from a risk mitigation standpoint, this is critical. You know, you want to have copies of all of your admission documents. You have to have proof of these consents and all of this signed and acknowledged and stored for your business records. And especially as we learned this last year, you know, throughout the pandemic, you know, when offices are closed and your staff is all around, you know, working from home, you know, having a centralized online repository for your, you know, critical business information is crucial. So this platform gives you that. So you have an ROI from a cost perspective, but also from a business continuity perspective that really makes this admission solution, you know, something very valuable in many cases. So, you know, for our partners out there, our doForms partners, our reseller partners, you know, I just want to say this is a turnkey solution. If you are looking for a way to, you know, showcase doForms, you're looking for a specific vertical to really go after, you know, the hospice vertical and for your hospice providers, you know, on the call today, you understand the admission packet challenge. You understand that this paperwork has to get done. It's arduous, it's time consuming, there's a lot of it. So this really is a turnkey solution. We offer a demo app of a hospice admission packet. So if any of you are interested in getting access to that, so you can showcase it to whoever you might be thinking might have interest in this, please email me. I'd be really happy to get you set up with this. So you can showcase it. And then again, you know, you can always tell them this is just an example. We customize it so it looks exactly for what your specific business needs. And on the other side, if you're not a doForms partner, if you are an actual hospice provider yourself, you know, call us. We can give you a demo, and you know, within 30 minutes, we can tweak this demo to be exactly what you need, and you can be up and running and actually trying out your digital hospice admission packet within a matter of hours. So please reach out to us. You know, we do have a template ready to go. We're ready to get you started. We have a strategy. We have an experience. We have great customer references that really just showcase the power and the ROI that we've, you know, delivered for them. So we just really encourage you to reach out, and if you're interested in this, to learn more. I'm happy to have this conversation with anyone who's interested in this. So thank you so much for taking the time to learn a little bit about our hospice solution. You know, and from the admission packet side of things, as soon as that's been digitized, I do want to say what we learn is there's other areas that immediately pop up. So once the admission process is taken care of, then all of a sudden we are going into projects with human resources or HR, doing employee onboarding, doing training programs, doing certification programs. helping deploy an application out there that helps you refer other employees. So you can see if there's more caregivers in your area who would be good to work for your business. So doForms has so many applicable use cases in hospice, and the admission package is just a great way to get started. It really gets you familiar with the technology. It serves an immediate need. It pays for itself. And then from there, you unleash the power of doForms throughout your organization, and you can see all the other ways it can help, whether it be caregiver scheduling, whether it be other forms, whether it be employee hiring processes. doForms really becomes a one-stop shop to help you with these clinical workflow requirements that you may be seeking to get digitized. So thank you all. With that, I'm just going to see if there are any questions. Okay, yeah, we actually do have one. One question is regarding whether or not doForms will sign a business associate agreement. Yes, so we do offer a standard BAA. So if you are interested in obtaining a BAA, what we'll do is we'll review your account. We'll make sure that you have all of the advanced security settings turned on, that you're using encryption in your form. We'll train you on how to do that if you're just getting started. And from there, we'll get you executed with a BAA. So yes, that's definitely something that we can help you with. And I'm popping my email up here on the screen. If you want to shoot me an email, lschimmel@doforms.com is the way to go. Okay. And there's one more question. Okay. Yes, so yes, the state of Louisiana has some specific form requirements. Would we be able to get those involved in your packet? Okay, yeah, so we offer a template that we use, and it kind of shows you how it works. But of course, we can customize forms specifically for your state's requirements. So all we do is we look at that, and we're able to replicate it and digitize it. And now that you're saying that, you're making me think, you may be asking if the form needs to be in a very specific PDF format. So will it look like that? So we do have the ability to design templates. So as soon as the data is captured and you produce a PDF, it looks exactly like that federal or state or local form needs to look like, that specific format. So a good analogy is in creating a W-2 or an I-9 form for the IRS. We can do that. We can also do the same for these hospice forms, Medicare, 81A forms, whatever they may be. We're able to get them in that exact template that you need. So yes, that's a very good question, very important point. So whether it be designing a form for a specific area and adding it to the packet, that's done, and getting it in that format, that's done as well. All right. Well, that's all I see for the questions right now. Again, my email is on the screen. If you have any questions, concerns, would like to see a demo, would like to get started, shoot me an email me a copy of your paper admission packet. I'll get a proof of concept built for you, and we can get you started. So thank you so much. We're going to take a break, and we will be back at 3 o'clock for our next session, which is going to be on COVID-19 solutions. So solutions that we built for our customers to help them during the COVID-19 pandemic. So be a really great topic, and thank you. Look forward to talking with you then.